Good evening, YouTube. So this is the original tire that I put on this bike when I built it back in 2012. So it's 7 years old and has something like 9,200 miles, at least on my bike computer. It's probably more than that. 15,000 kilometers. And so this tire was originally on the rear of the bike for 2,500 miles, and then I converted to tubeless and moved it to the front, and so it's got over 6,500 miles on the front. You can probably make out in the camera how cracked the tread is. There's these cracks run straight, and then there's some that cut across the tread blocks. And this has been cracking like this probably for at least 3 years. And you can probably also see there's sort of wet spots. So the last 2 years roughly, I've been noticing a little bit of extra sealant use. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago I added some sealant to the tire because it had gone low, and just the other day I was looking and right here it's finally cracked all the way through to the casing. So I think it is time to retire this tire. I mean, I pumped it up last weekend and it's still holding air, but it's letting go along this whole stretch there. What I have here, this is the other original tire. This one was 2,500 miles on the front, like this tire, and then when I went tubeless I put it in the back, and it ran about 3,500 miles in back until I got a puncture. I showed you in a video several years ago where I took this tire off and I got a puncture. It was a nail, a finish nail, went all the way through the tread and came out right on the side of the sidewall, where the sidewall meets the bead right there. And I've been sitting on this tire. I haven't done anything with it, but I thought, why not give it a try here? And this one is the same age and it doesn't have any cracking on it. The puncture was down in that groove down there between the fabric and the sidewall. So what I did was I glued several inches of that fabric down just for a little extra support outside. And then on the inside, I went and added a patch there, wire brushed all the sealant residue off of there. There's not a lot of rubber on the inside of these, so you have to be really careful that you don't go into the casing. But I got that patch in there. I think that's pretty good. It's a car tire patch, which I think might do better on this thicker rubber, because you're not patching the tube, you're patching the tire. So I think what I'm going to do is pull this tire off. I'm going to put this tire on and then put some sealant in there and see if it holds air. Okay, YouTube, got the old tire pulled off of there. Kind of a mess with all the sealant residue. And then here we got the rim cleaned up. Went around with a rag, wiped out all the stuck-on sealant, especially along the beads here. So just take one last check there. I think we're looking pretty clean. And I used a rag with some acetone to clean off the bead. Got the outside edge and then the face there. Make sure that's all clean so we get a good seal. Let's get this mounted and we'll see if it'll air up. Yeah, being this tire was used already, it went on pretty easy. Didn't have to use any tire irons. So what I'd like to do is just go around and kind of roll the tire over both directions. Push it that direction and then turn it around and go that direction just to get it all centered up in there. Okay, here we go. Got the tire hanging here from my hook. And the big thing you want to watch is the pressure. You don't want to go over 50 psi or even 45. So let's just see what happens here. I think I'm quite seated in there yet. Okay, I think I got it seated in here. Where I added the patch, it's a little bit stiffer right down here, and I need to hold a little pressure on there to get it to seal. There we go. Got her to pop. Yeah, see, it's still leaking right there. I think that's around the bead. I don't have any sealant in here. So I'm going to get some sealant and we'll shoot it in here. Okay, I got my little bottle of orange seal here. I think that's most of it. Let's get the valve core back in there, like that. So now I need to put some air in here and then shake the tire around flat, especially over here. I need to get some sealant in. This area is going to be a little stiffer because there's the patch inside, and then I've glued the extra piece of fabric around the bead. Okay, I think we're getting this. The soapy water does the trick here. When I first put it on, there was just bubbles coming out all over the place, but there's where the bad leak was. So we got some leaks around the bead that seem to be sealing up, and then the other side had some small leaks, but I pumped it up to about 40 psi, and it's probably about 35 now. And you can see we had a pretty good leak along there, and then there was one over there, and a little bit, kind of that whole half. I probably didn't have the bead like perfectly clean. I got it as clean as I could, but at some point you just got to stop trying to peel off all the little bits of latex. This is where the leak was, right around the valve stem there. Looks like it's pretty well sealed up. Okay, I think I'll let this sit maybe half hour, 45 minutes, and then I'll probably dump in some more sealant because I don't hear any sealant sloshing around. Most of it leaked out, trying to get it to seal up. I will probably stick a little more in there. I imagine the old sealant residue, dried up stuff, probably soaked up a lot of the liquid. So anyway, I'm going to let this sit for a while, maybe grab some lunch, and then I'll pull the valve core out, dump some more sealant in, and pump it back up. And just make sure all the little pinholes are sealed up. And I think we can throw it back on the bike and go for a ride later today.